There we go. Tied at 10, not anymore. This time, Ratified is down. Here in double O2. We'll go at it again inside. Tampa Bay Gators are going to crash hole 19.
Time is happening. In the Cardinal since 2000.
It's a great day for Toy Car Demolition Derby. The April 25th game day is here, CDL fans, and that being said, a special day, April 25th here in the CDL. Definitely got to give shout-outs with birthdays and all that kind of stuff, and a birthday goes out to Lila Giesser, owner of the San Francisco Shinobis and the Detroit Devils. She owns both teams, and of course their farm team, Anaheim, the Eagles. Who didn't do too good today in the Development League games, but needless to say, hoping for more success with her pro teams, no doubt. But happy birthday to Lila Giesser. Can't get out of lady's age, though, folks, but that's how we'll start this one off. Let's get to the D-League scores. I was just talking about Anaheim getting shut out. Poor birthday girl. It's her party, and she'll cry if she wants to, but again, well 15-0 the final score. Richmond defeats Anaheim. Toronto beating Alaska 15-5. Baltimore 15-0 over Oakland. So it's okay, Lila Giesser. You are not alone. Anyway, Montreal getting the win over Vancouver 15-10. Rochester beating Utah 15-10. Syracuse beating Calgary by the same score 15-10. It's a popular one. 15-5 Syracuse, my mistake. 15-5 Orlando beating Edmonton. Yeah, Syracuse beat Calgary 15-10. Anyways, moving on. Our one overtime game from the D-League game day. Oklahoma City in a tough one with the Cincinnati Tigers. The Strikers coming out on top 20-15 in overtime. Winnipeg edging out Mexico City 15-10. And Kansas City defeats Little Rock 15-10. And kind of the game we were expecting Kansas City to maybe dominate, but needless to say, they did not. The Razors kept it close. So that leads us to the pros. As far as teams with the bye, only Memphis had a bye today in the D-League. And in the pros, there are two teams on a bye, Seattle and Gowanda. But that being said, there are 20 other games going on here on this pro game day, this April 25th game day. San Francisco Shinobis on the road against the Portland Panthers. That's in our mid-feature. Philadelphia Demons, Buffalo Warriors. Little Northeast Division showdown in our main event. And to lead things off, two teams with playoffs on the brain, and actually really two teams really with divisional title on the brain, if you will. But that being said, the New Orleans Gladiators coming into this game day, coming into this opening feature on the road against the Chicago Wind Attack. Now, Chicago kind of got lucky in the last game day. They got into overtime, even though they lost, they got a point to tie Nashville in points, and because they have more wins by tiebreaker, they took the lead in the Central Division. So now Chicago looking to keep that lead in the Central Division. Of course, Nashville tied in points with them coming into this game day. And as for the New Orleans Gladiators, tied with the Phoenix Firebirds for second place right now in the Southern Division, and only 6 points back of the Roswell Aliens, who that's 2 games behind. So only 6 points back of them. So looking to catch up here today in our opening featured event. Gladiators and Wind Attack. You saw the Gladiators had that win in the last game day. Saw their full feature game. They dominated Miami. Can they do the same to the Wind Attack here today? On the road, going to be a tough one. Chicago, one of the best teams in the West. So is New Orleans. Could have a possible playoff preview, folks. So let's get you down to the field for that one. A lot of big things going on in the Car Demolition League. But, of course, all smashes off with the Gladiators and the Wind Attack. I'm trying to think of just a simple nickname. The Attack or something. Let's get down to the field.
This is game time, and it's game time, and the madness fly. Show the strength that just can't be defied.
Welcome down to the field, folks, for this April 25th edition of CDL Live. About to get all the action started here on our April 25th game day. Should be some fun stuff, including this game day right here. 12 game days to go until the playoffs, and coming into this game day, something I realized that the Atlanta Avengers, even if they won the rest of their games this year, and they're the last place team in the league, but Atlanta, even with winning the rest of the games that they have all season, could not catch LA for the Pacific, well, not in the Pacific Division, but for the Cobb Award, for the best record in the league. They can't catch LA, so Atlanta's out of that hunt. And they can't really catch Philly. Best they could do is 56 points, so the best they could do is tie Philadelphia for the top spot in the conference. That is, of course, providing, folks, that Philadelphia loses the rest of the games this season in regulation, and Atlanta wins the rest of their games this season outright. So, very tall order. So what does this basically mean is we've got the New Orleans Gladiators on the road against Chicago Wind Attack today. As soon as I can talk, right, against the Chicago Wind Attack today. Well, so what does that all mean, basically? That Atlanta has to win the rest of their games from last place spot to even have a hope of matching Philly at the top spot in the East, and that Philly would have to lose. In other words, folks, playoff spots are going to start being clinched, or start being the opportunity to make the playoffs would start being lost. The time is coming soon where it's going to basically be do or die for these teams, and we got two teams right here ready to go head to head that right now have playoffs heavy on their mind. The New Orleans Gladiators on the road against the Chicago Wind Attack. New Orleans comes to this game day with a record of 15 wins, 10 losses, no ties, and 2 overtime losses. Chicago comes in with a record of 18 wins, 7 losses, no tie, and 1 overtime loss. And for Chicago, that overtime loss came in the last game day against the Bradford Brawlers, but at the same time, that 1 point that they got from the overtime loss has them at first place in the Central Division, second place, or second seed, I should say, in the Western Conference right now, because they are holding the lead in their division. 55 points right now, but they are tied with Nashville. Nashville has 55 points as well atop the Central Division, but Chicago has more wins. They are looking for a win here today to keep the lead in that division and try to close the gap between them and Los Angeles for the top spot in the league. As for the New Orleans Gladiators, 47 points on their season. They sit tied with Phoenix for the 8th seed in the Western Conference. Now, the 8th seed being the last playoff spot. Now, this is the thing, is that it's actually a 3-way tie for this 8th seed. Phoenix, New Orleans, and San Jose from 8th place to 10th place right there. New Orleans is the 9th seed right now. They all sit with 47 points. All 3 of those teams just 2 points behind 7th place Nevada. Big games for both of these teams here on the field right now and across the game day, as a lot of these teams are in action. As a matter of fact, Nevada going to be playing San Jose later in the second half of the highlights. So, stuff to look out for. So, big games, and this will be one of them here. And hey, it's our opening feature event. So that being said, let's get a look at the lineups. New Orleans Gladiators, Chicago Wind Attack. So both front runners are on the field and ready to go. Elite leads the way for the Gladiators. R leads the way for the Chicago Wind Attack. And game on. Some good lightweight defense to start things off. I guess you could say Elite's kind of lightweight, but he goes down there. R has the flip. 5-0 Chicago in the lead. So now New Orleans going to be sending out Golden Rat here to take on R. And almost has a flip there. R doing a good barrel roll and has a flip right there and loses half a penny. I think that's off R. That was put at the front. No, that might be off R. That's the bottom part of his bottom penny there. Just helping to create a new front end for him, kind of. But he's got a 10-0 lead here. No timeout taken by Chicago as T-Gray comes out there looking to keep the Gladiators in the game. And, oh, what a move. Couple of moves able to stay up by T-Gray. And, my goodness, man, making acrobats look like fools. I kind of think sometimes, man. Oh, man. T-Gray definitely on the defensive, but he is a good defensive car and showing that right now as he continues his battle with R. And what a move right there. Mama put him in a K-pop video. T-Gray able to breakdance his way up yet again and again here as he continues to fight with R. As for R, he's staying stable. Not looking shaky at all as he stays really level with the field here. And that time got a little side bump, and that time a spin maneuver to keep himself stable. T-Gray, whoa, that time an interference, that one saving R, but that being said, it was a clear interference there off of, actually off of Chicago's team bag here. If you're ever wondering what's off this side of the field, it's where the team stay when they are not in play, I guess you could say, but when they're not on the field battling, yes, they're in a plastic bag. But needless to say, we have a good flip right there. So no interference for R that time, and we got a 10-5 game. So T-Gray bringing the fight right now as he takes on Blue Dragon, and Blue Dragon almost had him on a chip shot. Almost went down himself. Switching back to their own sides now after being on opposite sides, and T-Gray staying up there, able to switch yet again. This time, no interference. And Blue Dragon almost needed his passport. He was just about halfway to Canada there, it looked like, from our CDL studios in Buffalo. But that being said, he was about to go over Niagara Falls right there to continue this match, and an interference right there. So the interference saves Blue Dragon. He'll get another chance. He's looking for the win right here and almost has it. T-Gray staying up, looking to keep his team in the game here. An interference to save himself against his teammate, Golden Rat, and I saw that one the whole way through. There's a little bump right there, and this time T-Gray again staying up, and we got a heck of a game on our hands. If it does end 15-5, you can't say that it was a total dominant game because T-Gray definitely put forth his best effort, and no interference that time. Comes very close. T-Gray staying up, and he has tied this game at 10 apiece. So that will now bring out highlight for the Chicago side. Another good defensive car on the field. And we should have a great battle between these two. T-Gray is on point today, looking for a captain stays. He's trying to get his team back from behind. Almost had highlight as they continue their fight here. And already Highlight having a close call as he continues his battle with T-Gray. Now T-Gray looks like the stable one. Cool, calm, confident. And he has a flip right there. So Highlight down in New Orleans with the 15-10 lead. That brings out Synchro for Chicago. Looking to force overtime, almost does. T-Gray breakdancing his way up twice now against Synchro. Almost a flip there for T-Gray. And that time T-Gray is down, so Synchro forcing the issue and forcing overtime. 15-15 the score. Menace out there for New Orleans. They have come back to force overtime. A grazing shot there. Menace staying up and switching sides with Synchro. Synchro almost going down, able to recover. Both these cars able to stay up now in the game still. And this time Synchro is down. It is a good flip, and the Gladiators have the win over the Wind Attack, who've lost 2 straight in overtime now. But the door is open for the Nashville Nighthawks now to retake the lead in the Central Division. So, this being said, Chicago falls on the season now to a record of 18-7-0-2. They go to 56 points. They do get a point for the overtime loss, so they are now up to 56 points. So Nashville, who is going to be playing a little bit, they're home against the Dallas Lone Stars. Well, actually not a little bit. It's going to be in the second highlight reel. But Nashville will have a chance to retake the lead in the Central Division. And as for New Orleans, they are really putting the pressure on teams like San Jose, Phoenix, and Nevada to perform temporarily. Of course, this is dependent on how all those other 3 teams do. They currently move up into the 7th seed for right now with 50 points on the season. Of course, depends a lot on what Nevada's able to do, what San Jose does, and what Phoenix does. But New Orleans doing their part, a tough game, taking on a very tough team, and a comeback win after being down 10-0. The Gladiators win this one in overtime, 20-15, the final score. Let's take it back to the curtain. We'll get to that first set of highlights. Well, folks, the only way you can get any closer is through a tie. 20-15 in overtime, and the Wind Attack, gotta think, could they be just as lucky as they were last time? Overtime loss, only pulling a point ahead of Nashville with that OT loss. So the Nighthawks, home against the Dallas Lone Stars today, beatable team for them, I would, definitely think. Nashville with that opportunity to take back the lead in the Central Division now. And New Orleans, well, they're just hoping for a little bit of help from Phoenix losing and Roswell losing. Roswell going to have a game against Indianapolis, a team that's been on the prowl as of late, as a matter of fact. Moving up to 42 points. They're only 5 points out of a playoff spot. So the Reapers starting to become a threat, possibly in the Western Conference. And as for the Phoenix Firebirds, they are taking on a hot Denver Mustangs team. So that's something that definitely through the highlights, if you're a New Orleans Gladiators fan, that you would maybe pay attention to. For the Wind Attack, Nashville Nighthawks and Dallas. So that's what you pay attention to. But needless to say, our next game, we keep it in the West, but go to a totally different division, the Pacific Division. It's a Pacific Division showdown. San Francisco Shinobis and the Portland Panthers. Two teams just 3 points from each other in the standings. San Francisco in third place in the Pacific with 53 points. Portland in second place in that division with 56 points. And both these teams looking to catch up to the LA Blades, who are in first place with 59 points right now. So a lot of stuff going on. Let's get you this first highlight reel. As a matter of fact, LA and San Diego, you might catch this one in that first highlight reel, see how the Blades do. So let's get a look.
So we start off our highlights with the Jacksonville Bangums and the Milwaukee Mob. You see Hot Tub Jr. out here battling with Testarossa to start this game off, and Testarossa would have a good flip, 5-0 in favor of Jacksonville, but quickly tied up by Monty Jr. So now he's out there against Zap from the Jacksonville side, and he sets Zap down 2-0 start for Monty Jr. So the battle carrying on. Black Spectite now out there for the Jacksonville side and able to tie things up at 10 apiece. Now out there against Cartman, the rookie. So Cartman and Black Spectite, yes, look out there on the pit zone sides, and the two would continue battling it out here. And Cartman just making some great maneuvers, no doubt about it. As you see right here, somehow staying up. Get a look at that one in slow motion. Cartman, the rookie, able to stay up somehow there, going flying, and almost needed his passport, but didn't go too far. So needless to say, in the end, to no avail. Black Spectite taking them down, so the score 15-10. Jacksonville in the lead, and Toyota, no soup for you. Good win for Jacksonville, 15-10 the final score. A 2-0 day, or actually no, a 3-0 day rather, for Black Spectite. Some great stuff from the Bangham side there, getting themselves a big win. So we move on to a matchup between the New Mexico Monsters and the St. Louis Twisters. It was Silver Indy leading the way for the Twisters, and my goodness, I think he wants to trade here. Look at where he lands and how he lands. It was an interference there, but landing right there at the front runner spot for New Mexico. Maybe some kind of message there, but he got taken down right there, and yeah, Monkey Ball sending the message, no, I am that team's front runner, and he's 2-0 to start things off. With Rowdy and Silver Indy out of the game, an interference right there. Him and Mr. Freeze going at it yet again, and this time Mr. Freeze, nothing to touch up with there. Monkey Ball on point today, and yes, he is the front runner for the New Mexico Monsters. Most days it would seem like, so, but he got the job done. Goes 3-0, serves donuts for dinner. 15-0, the Monsters get the win over the Twisters. And we move on to the Miami Mafia and the Cleveland Wolves. A game that was a little bit closer, but the Wolves leading off with Aqua Ferrari, and he came to work today as we see him taking on Monkey in the opening face-off here, if you will, and Monkey gets taken down, so 5-0, and then quickly both Aqua Ferrari and Neon are down, bringing out Junk in the Trunk for the Wolves, looking for the win against Aqua Chevelle. So the two will go at it, and then a little debate here. What side do they go to? Yeah, they'll keep their own sides. They'll go at it again, and setting them right down was Aqua Chabelle. Now took on Bully Goat. Both cars staying stable. Game tied at 10, and not anymore. Bully Goat on point for the Wolves right there. 15-10 Cleveland in the lead, but enter in Mach 6. Mach 6 putting up a good fight here. Two lightweight defensive cars, but definitely weight advantage. Had to go to Bully Goat here, no doubt about it. But Mach 6 fighting the good fight. As you can see, some great defensive moves really by both cars. But in the end, Mach 6 getting the flip to force overtime, and he would go head-to-head with Octanium from the Cleveland side in OT. Again, two lightweight defensive cars, and it was Octanium on the short end of that stick. Mach 6 going 2-0 from the 5-point gainer spot, not only forcing OT, but getting the win in overtime for the Miami Mafia. Hey, we haven't been able to call a Miami win very much this season, but we certainly did right here. 20-15 in OT, the Miami Mafia defeat the Cleveland Wolves. Back to the Western Conference with the matchup between the San Antonio Kings and Idaho Cowboys. Sweet 16 taken down right away by MX Dragster, and now a good fight between him and Motoblade Jr. So MX Dragster and Motoblade Jr. interference right there. Match continues, but ends right there. Motoblade Jr. getting the flip, and now that brought out RDO2. Tie game, Motoblade Jr. and RDO2, and RDO2 quick to the point, getting the quick flip there, and now was taking on RPG. Good battle between RPG and RDO2, and just some great defensive maneuvers that we see right here. Do a barrel roll, RDO2, yes, in slow motion, please. My goodness, somehow able to stay up, carry on the fight with RPG here. Of course, he was looking for the win. RPG trying to tie things up, but no soup for you. Mama put RDO2 in a K-pop video. Deep fry me a Twinkie. On point today, a 2-0 day from the middleman spot for RDO2. And the Idaho Cowboys coming up big, getting the win at home. 15-5 the final. They defeat the San Antonio Kings. So we move on along with this highlight reel. Atlanta Avengers and the Bradford Brawlers. Escalade leading the way for Bradford, and he was on point today as he takes down Black Marinello right there. Now out there against Dark Knight from the Atlanta side, the new addition to the team, and Dark Knight got sat down right there. Now out there against 40. Escalade making us think it's 2006 or 2007 again. Just on point. Both cars going down there, but Escalade doing all he needed to do there at the end with that tie collision. A 15-5 win for the Bradford Brawlers over the Atlanta Avengers, and a 2-0-1 day for Escalade. Great day for the heavyweight. So we move on to a match between the Puerto Rico Players and the Green Bay Dragons. Keep it in the Eastern Conference. Inquisitor down for Green Bay, and Solar Reflex looking good at the start. Now took on Shell. And off-screen, Solar Reflex able to stay up. Some defense Puerto Rico's really been needing all season, has not gotten, but it doesn't last. Shell getting the flip there, but that would now bring out Black Star for the Puerto Rico Players. This car on point with the game tied at 5, quickly getting the flip on Shell, and he would carry it on. Now out there against Toy Soldier, and quickly had a flip. A 2-0 day for Black Star. His offense in perfect working order here today. Goes 2-0 from that middleman spot. 15-5 the final. The Puerto Rico Players getting the upset victory over the Green Bay Dragons. So moving on now to Alex Johnson's other team is LA Blades taking on the San Diego Lightning Pacific Division Showdown. And yes, Dirty Snow was on point today. And right there off screen, as you can see, Pinkendy Jr. was staying up, and the fight would continue, but not too much longer. Pinkendy Jr. gets set down as LA trying to avoid yet another loss here, and it's just not looking good as far as future went down. Now out there against Green-Lena, too easy. Dirty Snow serves donuts for dinner and for the second straight game day. The Blades have been shut out 15-0. They've been outscored 30-0 in the past 2 games. The defending world champions appear to be on the ropes right now, but all credit going to Dirty Snow. His offense getting the job done, goes 3-0 and serves donuts for dinner. 15-0. Lightning upset the Blades. And we end our first set of highlights with the Houston Oilers and the Minnesota Maniacs, and making the early impact on the game was White Ferraris. We see him at work here against Diablo 2. A couple of collisions in, he would have a good flip. 5-0 Oilers on top. And then out there against Red Racer, able to get a tie collision with them. So a 10-5 game, and now Nickel and Diamond going for the win against Black Spinebuster. A good battle between these two. Black Spinebuster, good defensively, staying stable to the ground, as was Nickel and Diamond, but in the end, it would be Black Spinebuster prevailing, tying the game up at 10, and then Minnesota will get their first lead of the game as Racer X get taken down by Black Spinebuster, who now went for the win against Hot Wheel Vet. Hot Wheel Vet trying to force overtime, but no soup for you. 15-10 the final. Black Spinebuster going 3-0 today from the captain spot. I mean, really, the only way you could have done any better is to come back from a 10-0 deficit, but being down 10-5, going 3-0, making the comeback happen. Maniacs getting the win thanks to Black Spinebuster's 3-0 day. 15-10, they defeat the Houston Oilers.
I'm not sure San Diego or LA was on there, but if they were, then you know what's at stake for both the Portland Panthers and the San Francisco Shinobis. Shinobis on the road against the Panthers, so the Birthday Girls team in play, and it's coming up, the full featured event here on CDL Live. Let's get down to the field.
This is game time and it's game time and the madness fly. Show the strength that just can't be defined.
And welcome back down to the field, folks, for our next featured event here on this April 25th edition of CDL Live. Lila Giesser's San Francisco Shinobis on the visitor side of the field for this one on her birthday. You know, I can't reveal a woman's age, but isn't that the old chivalry move? But, God, to be my mother. Oh, I really want to. Anyhow, but no, we're not. Anyhow. But yeah, she owns the team, the San Francisco Shinobis, and the Detroit Devils. She owns them too. But definitely the team with a chance this year, the Shinobis. On the road against the Portland Panthers, a team that is ahead of them in the standings right now, but the opportunity is open really for both of these squads here in this matchup today. The Portland Panthers come to this game day just 3 points behind the LA Blades for the lead in the division. Now, even if they did get a win, LA did lose, but at the same time, the Blades do have more wins than the Panthers, but they could at least tie for the top spot in the league with a win here today. The Portland Panthers could. As for the San Francisco Shinobis, they are 3 points behind the Panthers in the standings. Currently sitting at the 6th seed, a couple of points behind Nashville and 3 points behind Portland. But needless to say, a lot of things pending because Chicago got up to 56 points today. Will they keep that lead in the Central? Who knows? But it's kind of weird how it's all kind of mixing together. We got Portland, San Francisco, Nashville, and Chicago kind of all in this juggernaut. The thing is, Chicago and Nashville keep on switching between that 4th, 5th, 6th, and 2nd seed. So it's kind of a weird thing like that. But needless to say, let's get a look at the records in the matchup for these two teams right here. The Shinobis, San Francisco Shinobis, come in 17 wins, 7 losses, no ties, 2 overtime losses for that total of 53 points on the season. The Portland Panthers on the home side of the field here, a record of 16 wins, 4 losses, 2 ties, and 4 overtime losses. And before I actually go any further, New Orleans and Chicago, you saw that overtime win for New Orleans. Their next game, they are going to actually be on the road against the Green Bay Dragons. The Chicago Wind Attack will be on the road against the Boston Vandals. So both these teams here on the field now, though, they are looking to take advantage of a Blades loss. We'll see which one can step up to the plate and take that opportunity here to basically rip it away from their opponent. Let's get a look at the lineups for both sides. Shinobis and Panthers.
We're big. Is this a movie? Attack the leaf villages where my crew be. What is it like to be a shinobi? My ninjas feel you for you feel me. Ah, good soup.
Alright, so here we go. The front runners on the field. F3 out there for the Shinobis, and for the Panthers, it is Purple Fire. Game on, both cars down. We got a 5-5 matchup between the Shinobis and the Panthers. So that now brings out Monty, for the Portland Panthers, and that will be Spectite Jr. out there for the San Francisco Shinobis. It is defense versus smash mouth offense, a heavyweight here. Whoa, bad roll. As a matter of fact, this is going to be a timeout by me, the official. And actually, to be honest with you guys, this is the first time that I've actually smeared grease on this field today. And to be honest with you, I think the cars have been rolling quite fine all game day for the most part. We've only had a handful of bad rolls. I probably count them on one hand, but right there, just really no traction for either car. So something that I think will benefit both Spectite Jr. and Monty here. So a little bit for both sides as we should be able to get a good roll now. We will see. So greased up the field for the first time, and yes, that feels a lot better here, folks. From an official standpoint, these two cars go at it. We got Monty and Spectite Jr. Monty's been good lately. Had that shutout. Well, he didn't shut the team out. Well, he goes down there. But he actually went 3-0 against the Blades, but he's down today. 0-1 day for Monty, as that will bring out who for the Panthers. And he's the defensive car, able to stay up right there, switching sides with Spectite Jr. Spectite Jr. going for the win and almost has it right there. It is who able to stay up and in the fight. And Spectite Jr. almost again. What great moves by who. And this time who is down in the Shinobis have the win. Final score 15-5. And Spectite Jr. was on point today. Goes 2-0 to get the Panthers out of their way, I guess you could say, or to get the Shinobis the win. And on Lila Giesser's birthday, to top it off, kind of a nice little addition for her and her team to get this win. So San Francisco moves up to 56 points because they have more wins, and not just that, San Francisco going to 18-7-0-2. Portland, just their 5th regulation loss of the season. They go to 16-5-2-4. But still, both teams at 56 points. But the tiebreaker is right now in San Francisco's favor. They do have more wins on the season, so that's where it would be at. So both San Francisco and Portland at 2nd and 3rd place in the Pacific with 56 points. Just 3 points behind the Blades. So the Shinobis closing the gap on Los Angeles. A big win for them here today. Looking ahead to the next game day for both of these squads, the Portland Panthers will be back on CDL Live, and they'll be kind of in a first, if you will. They'll be leading off the next edition of CDL Live on the road against the Jacksonville Bangams, a team that you folks, you fine viewers, have not seen a full game of yet. So if you're a Bangams fan or liking the Bangams or something like that, who knows? Do you like the colors of the teams? You like Hot Tub Jr. or not Hot Tub Jr. You like, for example, who's good on Jacksonville? You like Black Spectite? Hey, or Zap? You want to see him play a full game? Well, that'll be your opportunity on the April 27th game day. Portland on the road against Jacksonville to lead it off. As for the winners here today, the San Francisco Shinobis, they will be on the road against Brandon's Tampa Bay Gators. Should be a fun one to watch, and really will be a big game for both of those squads, Shinobis and Gators. It's actually at one point what I was predicting to be the Crash Bowl at one point last year during the playoffs. Shinobis did come up a little short, and Tampa Bay, they made it to the Crash Bowl, didn't win in it, but needless to say, I get like 50 different predictions per year. But that being said, only one more game that will be featured in its full length here on this game day. Of course, that is our main event, Philadelphia Demons on the road against the Buffalo Warriors, a good old-fashioned Northeast Division showdown. Tim Geiser's team against Gregory Fox's team, but starting off the highlight reel, actually, we are going to see Tim Geiser's other team, his Hartford Homies, on the road against the New Jersey Bandits. But before all that, let's take it back to the curtain. So there we go, folks. You got it right there. The Shinobis getting a huge win over Portland, 15-5, the final score. Big game for that squad, and tying them up in the stands at 56 points. I'm not sure if LA was in that first highlight reel, But if they weren't, they're in this second one that is about to be shown. But that being said, yeah, I do this all after the fact. Don't want to spoil anything for you, but a crucial game that might come into fruition. You'll find out. If you haven't found out already, if you haven't put 2 and 2 together already, you'll figure it out. But needless to say, main event is about to be coming up after the second highlight reel. And yes, after this highlight reel, I'll get into it before we get into our main event. Philadelphia Demons on the road against the Buffalo Warriors. It's Tim Giesser against Gregory Fox after these highlights.
So we start off our second set of highlights in the Northeast Division. Hartford Homies and New Jersey Bandits, and a tie off of the bat. Kid Custom and Redemption both going down. That brought out 46 Jr. for the Homies against Pink Lamborghini, and Pink Lamborghini do a barrel roll, able to get the flip, but now had to face Indy 5, and quicker than a pancake at a Waffle House getting flipped right there. But needless to say, yes, you saw the matchup there. Indy 5 and the number 1 overall pick of the draft, Power Pistons. Legend against maybe a possible future legend in Power Pistons. A great battle, but in the end, Indy 5 coming up on top. 15-10, Homies in the lead. Indy 5 looking to make it the final here against 686. 686 fighting the good fight, but in the end, it is going to be to no avail, as you will see right here. Sets him down, but a good effort by 686. Gotta give him credit for the effort, but hey, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, I suppose. The win goes to the Hartford Homies. Indy 5 on point today, definitely on point today. Going, as a matter of fact, 3-0 from the captain spot. Hartford Homies getting the win 15-10 over the New Jersey Bandits. So we keep it in the Eastern Conference. Carolina Wildcats and Detroit Devils. Black Dragon out there for the Detroit Devils against Mellow 51, taking him down. It's 5-0 Detroit in the lead. Now Black Dragon out there against Dragon Jr. Two twins going at it, and close to a flip right here. Both cars able to stay up. Dragon Jr. staying stable there, and then an interference saving the cars. And wait, hold on a second. Put them on the right sides there, Jimbo. Back on the right sides they go. And this time it is a clean flip for Black Dragon. So Black Dragon has Detroit up 10-0, but we are going to see some pretty stuff here. When absolutely fantastic, getting the flip on top of it. The number 2 overall pick of the draft, showing why he was drafted so early. Look at that, able to stay up there somehow, and then on the flip, making it look pretty. So basically right there, keeping Carolina in the game, but now Cloud Cutter. Basically, this was Detroit's overall pick, their first overall pick. I think, what pick they had, 4th or 5th overall? Well, he had a flip right there. Quicker than a pancake at a Waffle House. Cloud Cutter getting the job done at the end there. All he needed to do was go 1-0, and he most certainly did that. Took down Wen, and definitely an impressive day for Cloud Cutter. I can't remember if he was, maybe was he 9th overall? I can't remember, but needless to say, a 2-1 day for Black Dragon and a 1-0 day for Cloud Cutter. Great day for the Devils. They defeat the Wildcats 15-5 the final. So for the first time in our second half of highlights, we move to the Western Conference. Indianapolis Reapers home against the Roswell Aliens. F1 racer going down from the Roswell side. And then, not just that, but flip right there on Dragonfly. Blue Indy was the car for Indy on a roll. And would he be able to get the job done out here against Spectite? As we know, Spectite good defensively and putting up a fight, but in the end, no soup for you. An easy trip to the bakery for Blue Indy, and he gets the upset for the Indianapolis Reapers. Huge upset there, as a matter of fact. At least I certainly think it is. 15-0 the final score. Blue Indy going 3-0. It's a shutout. The Reapers get the upset over the Aliens. And we keep it in the West, Phoenix Firebirds and the Denver Mustangs. And a great game that happened between these two. Green Arrow and 24 Hours. Green Arrow getting taken down. 24 Hours been hot as of late, but now taking on a car from the Phoenix side that has been pretty hot all season. That is Mika. And a good fight between the two. And off screen, Mika staying up. 24 Hours is down. So we had a 5-5 game. good game going on between the Mustangs and the Firebirds, and it was a great game. Purple Custo would get flipped by Mika as well, so now 10-5, a 2-0 start for Mika, and now he takes on Red Detta. And Red Detta, I am pretty sure, was the 4th overall pick of the draft, and you saw him getting the flip quick right there. See why he was 4th overall. Perhaps 3rd overall was Green Demon. But needless to say, out there against Stock 34, the veteran from the Phoenix side. And needless to say, these two would have a good battle. It was great to see just the lightweight defense on display. Both these cars got the same kind of strategy when they go into a game, but it works out for Red Detta. He has the flip, and then, oh my goodness, shattered, scattered, and splattered. Deep fry me a Twinkie, what a hit. Unbelievable stuff. That was glitter from the 5-point gainer spot, and yes, he was still up there, and we'll see it in slow-mo. Glitter, what a hit he delivers. Red Detta, who's a Vendetta model. Red Detta staying up in the process. The bottom of his car was still in contact, right side up, so he would get fixed up, go up against Glitter again, and this time so close to an interference, but there is none. Red Detta, they had to take a timeout for him, and it ends up paying off tremendously. Comes back with the tape on, gets the game winner right there. 15-10 the final. The Denver Mustangs defeat the Phoenix Firebirds. So talk about using the timeout wisely. Definitely paid off for Denver right there, and kind of lucky that through all that scattering of debris, the bottom of the car landed upright. So we head back to the east for a big matchup between the Patriots and the Destroyers, and Blue BMW for the Pittsburgh Destroyers has himself a strong game here, as we will see him taking down Red Ferrari Jr. right away, and then getting a tie with Landlord here. Has a 1-0-1 day, sets up his teammate Zebra, who would go for the win against Ratitude from the Washington side. But Ratitude, the force is strong with him, getting the flip on Zebra, tying things up at 10, now out there against WA17, and too easy. Flipping him quicker than the pancake at a Waffle House, and against Epic Fast, resistance is futile. Getting the job done, a 3-0 day from the captain spot, and the Patriots get the comeback win. Ratitude, like I said, 3-0 day from that captain spot comes up big, and the pressure being put on the Tampa Bay Gators, who the Patriots are battling with for the Southeast Division title. Huge win for Washington as they defeat Pittsburgh 15-10 the final. So we move back to the Western Conference, Dallas Lone Stars, Nashville Nighthawks, and it would be Watsup and Orange Chevelle. You can make a Rocky montage between these two, no doubt. They put on a great show to start this game off, as we see them going head-to-head. Do a barrel roll right there by Orange Chevelle as he kept in the fight. Both these cars really putting the maximum effort out in this game, bringing their A game. Lightweight defense on the mind of both cars, and both of them looking for the flip, but it finally would happen for Orange Chevelle. He would get the flip on Watsup, 5-0, but it would be quickly tied up by Gray Indy right there. 5-5 the score, so now Gray Indy for Dallas and No Fear for Nashville. And these two, their battle wouldn't go on very long after this interference, as you are going to see both cars go down. So that would bring out Reptile for the Dallas Lone Stars. We see him in action against the unflippable Extinguish. Well, yeah, he was flippable today. Reptile quickly taking him down. Now out there against Kodak, and no soup for you. No Kodak moment today. Reptile making a moment of his own, going 2-0 from the captain spot, getting the job done. Lone Stars get the win over the Nighthawks. Final score 15-10. So back to the east we go. Tampa Bay Gators and the Dayton Rebels. One heck of a matchup between these teams. Battle right there, getting the interference, saving himself, going back to his own side as he took on Zapper here, and he would have a flip on Zapper right there. 5-0 Gators in the lead, but enter Sub-Zero from the Dayton side, and he flips him quicker than a pancake at a Waffle House. Sub-Zero would now go head-to-head with 48 hours, and these two would indeed put on a show. Lightweight defensive cars, both kind of have a similar design if you noticed, and definitely we're not coming short of the entertainment value, no doubt about it, as we see yet another good move here, kind of a spin cycle maneuver from both cars, able to stay up and in the fight, and going at it this time around, they both be down, so that set up the two captains, 47 Ronin and Toe from the Dayton side. These two would have a pretty fun battle to watch. Again, two lightweight defensive cars. These teams kind of have have this philosophy, this ideology, if you will, lightweight defense to keep a team in a game. And in this case, it does keep them both in the game. As a matter of fact, they send each other into overtime there as they both go down, ratified against El Rey in overtime here. And way off screen there, El Rey would have a flip on ratified. So, game comes to its end right there, 20-15 in OT. El Rey stepping up when he had to, but a close game the whole way through, no doubt. Dayton Rebels just edging out the Tampa Bay Gators, 20-15 in overtime. So we go back to the Eastern Conference. Boston Vandals looking for their 8th straight win against their rivals, the New York Empire from the Northeast Division, of course. A little divisional battle. Enzo 1 and Blue Dragon 2, both out of the game after just a couple of collisions. Brought out Challenge and Nitro money right there. Giving Boston the 10-5 lead. Now going for the game winner against Black Bullet 2, the franchise for the New York Empire. And money. Flip City all day. Nitro getting it done. 15-5 the final score. The Boston Vandals a dominant win over the New York Empire. A 2-0 day for Nitro from the middleman spot to get the job done and get the win. 8 straight wins for the Vandals, and the pressure being applied to the Philadelphia Demons. Their main event against Buffalo coming up soon. But we got one more highlight to go through. San Jose Storm and the Nevada Thunder. Yellow Spider quickly getting taken down by Wasp from the San Jose Storm, who has his team up 5-0 and now would take on White Indy. And folks, let the show begin. What a barrel roll, dual barrel roll maneuver. What, my goodness. Mama put him in a K-pop video and deep fry me a Twinkie while you're at it. Wasps just having an amazing defensive game. Definitely White Indy keeping the pressure on Wasp right here. As you will see another barrel roll maneuver by Wasp. Just amazing stuff from this car here on this game day as he would continue the battle with White Indy. And definitely White Indy staying stable, low to the ground. But in the end, all the fighting pays off for Wasp as he gives the Storm a 10-0 lead, getting the second flip on the day. Unfortunately for Wasp, it would come to an end right there. Hornet, basically a younger version of himself, getting the flip and now went head-to-head with Phantom. Phantom looking for the game winner. He's got the flip there and off screen. No interference. Came so close, but Phantom is money today. Gets the game winner flip right there. Game winner flip. That's right. New terms being used. We'll make them up as we go. Who cares? Deep fry me a Twinkie. A 15-5 win for the San Jose Storm. A good day for him. Got the flip on Hornet quicker than the pancake at the Waffle House. 2-1 day for Wasp. Following up with Phantom's 1-0 game winner. Storm get the job done. 15-5 they defeat the Thunder.
Yes, I can finally say it with absolute certainty because I know you've seen it now. San Fran and Portland, both just 3 points behind the LA Blades. The Blades folding 15-0. 2 game days in a row, the back-to-back. Defending world champions falter. Yeah, I wonder if they can turn it back on against Puerto Rico in the next game day, but that being said, all a mystery. But needless to say, we got a main event on tap. Of course, we saw Boston getting a huge win. Huge win over the New York Empire. So Boston has moved up into 58 points. So where does that leave the Philadelphia Demons with 56 points right now? It leaves them needing to win this game to keep the lead in that division. If they tie or do anything worse than a tie, well, a tie would go to a tiebreaker, but needless to say, because they have 58 points just like Boston, but if they did lose here today, they would lose that tiebreaker. Or if they tied today, they would, well, yeah, if they tied, they would lose in that tiebreaker. So Philadelphia needing a win to keep the divisional lead in the Northeast. Of course, Boston trying to take first place in the Eastern Conference. The Buffalo Warriors, as of right now, they are the 8th seed coming into today's game day. They are trying to hang on to their playoff spot, that final cutoff point playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. Green Bay, they took a loss. Cleveland, overtime loss. They're up to 42 points. And this is the big one. Hartford and Washington both getting a win that got them up to 44, so they are tied with Buffalo. So Buffalo not facing the immediate threat anymore from Green Bay or Cleveland, perhaps. But Hartford and Washington right on their tail. They do not want to take that to a tiebreaker. We'll see how they do on the field here, though. hosting division rivals, the Philadelphia Demons. Let's get down to the action, folks.
This is game time and it's game time and the madness fly. Show the strength that just can't be defined.
Well, folks, welcome down to the field. It is time for our main event here on our April 25th game day here in the Car Demolition League. Gregory Fox's Buffalo Warriors hosting Tim Geiser's Philadelphia Demons. It's a battle in the Northeast Division between Philly and Buffalo, and a lot on the line in this game day, no doubt about it. The Hartford Homies got a win, as did the Washington Patriots. Both teams got the 44 points to tie with Buffalo. Buffalo has 44 points at the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference, trying to hang on to that final playoff spot right now. The Philadelphia Demons, they're trying to hang on themselves with only 56 points here. The Boston Vandals getting a win over the New York Empire. So the Empire stayed at 54 points, but Boston moved up to 58 points. This is critical. Philadelphia needing the lead to stay in first place in the Northeast Division. They have lost 3 straight games. I don't think that they have lost 4 straight, or even 3 straight for that matter, since 2012, last year that the Demons did not make the playoffs. Big game for Philadelphia right here. Big game for Buffalo right here. 2 division rivals that do not like each other going head-to-head, and 2 owners that maybe ain't too fond of each other, especially when it comes to a CDL field. They're somewhat friend. But anyways, needless to say, 2 rivals going head-to-head, every sense of the word. Should be a great matchup. Demons, Warriors. Let's get a look at the records here, just so you know the official tale of the tape. 18 wins, 6 losses, no ties, and 2 overtime losses. That is the record of the Philadelphia Demons. For the Buffalo Warriors on the home side of the field today, 14 wins, 10 losses, no ties, and 2 overtime losses. There is a little bit of reward here for the Demons. If they can get the win, they will retie the Blades. They'll retie the Blades if they can get the win for first place in the Car Demolition League. So, huge game, considering that the Blades did take a loss today, 15-0 loss at the hands of San Diego, as a matter of fact. But that being said, huge game for the Demons. Huge game for the Warriors, like I said, trying to hang on to a playoff spot right now. So, big game. Let's get a look at the lineups. Philadelphia Demons, Buffalo Warriors. So it is time for this game. The front runners are on the field. Silver Molina leads the way for the Philadelphia Demons. Tyrell out there first for the Buffalo Warriors, and Tyrell has a good flip. 5-0 Buffalo in the lead. Brings out Pink Indy now for the Philadelphia Demons. So Pink Indy and Tyrell both going at. Tyrell doing a barrel roll, able to stay in the game. Almost had a flip there. Pink Indy up to the task. Now Pink Indy going flying. He stays up. Yet again, now from the home side of the field, where he's going to be really difficult to roll, and I am going to call an official timeout to wipe some of the grease off his sides here so I can grab him. And should be ready to go here. So both cars from opposite sides now, and an interference right there, but both cars staying up through the process. Now from their own sides of the field, they'll go at it yet again. This time Tyrell is down. Pink Indy tying this game up at 5 apiece. So that will now bring out what for the Buffalo Warriors to take on Pink Indy. What staying up there, switching sides here with Pink Indy. They'll go at it again. And again, I might have to wipe down his sides. It's going to become a huge problem for Pink Indy here today. He needs the grease on his bottom side to help him roll across the field. A lot of cars do. But when you put the grease on the sides of a car, can make it harder to grip from the sides to give that motion. I'm trying to give him that fair roll, and got that fair roll right there. He got taken down anyway. So the score, 10-5 the score. Buffalo in the lead. Now Green Demon out there. The rookie's been hot all year and staying good right there. he's definitely kind of been a little weak these past couple of games in this 3-game losing streak, but trying to get Philly back on the right track, and some good collisions here, some good survivals, interference right there, though. Both cars back to their own sides in a 10-5 game. Green Demon put him in a K-pop video, able to stay up somehow there, and this time Green Demon has a good flip on what? And we are tied at 10 apiece. They'll bring out Green Blaze for the Buffalo Warriors, all knotted at 10. Green Demon able to dance his way back up. Green Demon and Green Blaze going at it, and almost interference. There is none. He danced around my foot, literally. So switching sides, both cars still up throughout that process, and this time Green Blaze able to stay up right there in the fight. And again, both cars staying up and on opposite sides here. This time around, Green Blaze, what a move right there. Put him in the K-pop video too. But this time, Green Demon is down, corner of the screen there. You might see the corner of the field. So Green Blaze gives the Warriors a 15-10 lead. The Demons in danger of losing their 4th straight. Hawkeye out there for them, trying to force overtime, and does so. So we will see OT between the Demons and the Warriors, tied at 15. Paradox out there for Buffalo. The rookie Hawkeye out there for Philadelphia. All knotted at 15. This puts Philly up to 57 points on the season. Now, keep in mind, Boston has 58. So they do need at least a tie to be tied with Boston, but they really need the win to keep the lead in the division. So Paradox now out there for Buffalo, though. We're going to do his part, and both cars are down. This does end in a tie. So 15-15 the final between the Philadelphia Demons and the Buffalo Warriors. And I tried to explain every scenario that I could, but did not really foresee this one until it got into overtime. I'm like, oh my goodness, this could end. And it does end in a tie. So Philadelphia goes to 58 points on the season. They have a record of 18-6-1-2 now. That is now their record. Buffalo going to 14-10-1-2. As a matter of fact, this was the first tie of the season for both of these teams. It was their first tie. Buffalo going to be going up to 46 points. They will be staying in the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference by getting that draw. For the Philadelphia Demons, well, 18-6-1-2 versus 19-8-0-1. When we take a look at that, and Boston, because they have more wins, has taken first place in the Eastern Conference. The Boston Vandals now lead the Northeast Division. Philadelphia has been knocked back in the second place in that division, but really it is a tie. Philly and Boston tied for first place in the Northeast, but because Boston actually has more wins on the season now, 19 wins to 18, Boston is the new division leaders of the Northeast. Philadelphia fallen to the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference. Epic stuff. You can never predict a season the way it is going to go, and it has been crazy as of late. We've seen the Blades losing lately. It's 2 straight losses that the Blades have had now, and a shutout no less to Boston and to San Diego. Boston has won 8 straight now. The Demons have now, well, they almost lost 4 straight, but they have lost 3 out of their last 4 games, and the only one that they didn't lose was a tie here that they just got. Crazy stuff going on in the Car Demolition League. So close. What a game day here on our April 25th game day. What the last 11 game days are going to hold, folks, I quite frankly don't know. It's unpredictable at this point. I can't put my finger on it. All I can tell you is this. The Demons in their next game day, they'll be home against the St. Louis Twisters on that April 27th game day. The Buffalo Warriors going to be home against a very tough, well, they're playing well as of recent, the Denver Mustangs, ever since getting 24 hours on the squad. Buffalo's going to be home against Denver on that April 27th game day. I tell you, our next CDL Live is going to be Portland Panthers at Jacksonville Bangums to lead things off. Phoenix Firebirds, Pittsburgh Destroyers in our mid-feature. And then our main event, the San Jose Storm, on the road against the Washington Patriots. So some big games for those teams, especially for Washington, San Jose there, and even Phoenix and Pittsburgh. Big games for them too. Teams on the brink right now. And going into these last 11 game days, what a season it has basically been And I just don't know how else to put it, man. What a season it has been and how unpredictable it has been. This 20th season here, one of the closest that I have seen in doing this in my 20 years of actually doing this. Incredible stuff. CDL history really kind of being made this season on just how amazing the season has gone as far as the competitiveness, closeness of teams, and really not seeing any one team that is super dominant overall. You know, and past couple of years, maybe LA had that spot, maybe Philly had that spot, Roswell might have had that spot before then, and before then Philly again. But my goodness, you can't really pick one now. Really just amazing stuff that we are seeing from these teams. Folks, I hope that you enjoyed this. I am James Holtz, owner and creator of the Car Demolition League. Thanking you for watching and thanking you for the support. If you like us, go on to Facebook. Like us at Car Demolition League. Forgive me, pardon me. And like us on Twitter, I guess, or follow us on Twitter. You can follow us. We got all the games, every game day up there, you know. So doing the best we can for you here in the Car Demolition League. And hey, some of these teams are up for ownership. They need ownership. So drop me a line if you want to know for that 2017 season. Should have quite a few teams available. So you know, all you gotta do is hit us up at Car Demolition League on Facebook. So, but yeah, that being said, till next time, folks, take care of yourselves, be yourselves, and peace.
I love LA. I love Big Bad. I love LA. California. Yes. Still applies to me. Everybody got something to say. Like Manny Ortiz, you heard? It's John Cena, baby, and we heating up the bean pot. Big up Boston, you know the whole team hot. Yo, we fresh, y'all a little bit stale, and we about to make it ugly just like